I am rolling air dry clay today and just wanted to share some helpful tips and tricks as you are maybe starting out with air dry clay with your students. It is a great idea to set up a station for yourself. I have the school print me class lists, and then I go through the class lists all at once, count all the students, and write the totals. So that way I can be more efficient as I'm rolling out clay. I know exactly how much clay I need to roll out, so that way I don't have to stop in between and count out each ball of clay. It just makes it a lot easier. So you're going to unwrap your clay. These come in 25-pound boxes, and you want a ball of clay to be about the size of that grade level's fist. So kindergartners' fists are smaller. Their ball of clay is going to be smaller than like a 5th grader's ball of clay. I do save these bags in case I need extra bags for where to put what we are rolling out. You can make this from a wire and like popsicle sticks, or sometimes these come in the boxes to cut through the clay, and then I'm just going to mass cut all of this. A box of clay usually gets me through about 2 classes of students, so it makes about 50 balls of clay, but it really depends on how many kids you have and what grade levels you teach to know how many balls of clay you're going to need. But kids don't need a large piece of clay to have a good time and to learn practical skills. So it's better to have the experience than no experience, even if you give them all a smaller piece of clay and give them extra clay in the center for making attachments. So, and I'm just going to let the timer go on I'm not going to fast forward this video so you can see how long it takes me to make 22 balls of clay. So I'm just going to rip off. And something that I used to worry about was making the clay a perfect sphere, but it really just slows down the process, and the students can help you make them into spheres at the beginning of whatever you're making. It's also a good idea. This is 18 by 24 inch paper, and to trace about the size of the sphere that you want and number them so you don't have to stop and think and count. So I used to stop and think and count, and it would just slow down the process. So you don't need to use extra brain power, especially when you're a teacher and you have so many things on your mind. Anything you can do to cut down on thinking while you're doing this. A lot of times I do this after school. You can put on, a little movie to listen to in the background, an audiobook, to make the experience pleasant. Otherwise, it can seem like it takes forever. It's also a good idea to put it out to your community that you're rolling clay after school, and you'll be surprised how many parent volunteers you could get at times, especially if they bring their student, and you can have all the clay rolled very quickly. So that is also very helpful. I remove all my jewelry when I'm doing this, so that way you don't have to pull out clay chunks from your rings or bracelets later. I also wear an apron. These are messy mats that I'm working on top of that I reuse. They're a very thin piece of paper that I've just run through the laminator, and I just keep them. You can wash them. I store them in a drawer, and it makes it easy to clean up in between classes if you're not doing clay back to back. I do like to do an entire week of clay whenever possible if I'm not doing a rotating schedule, like a week A, B, and C. If I can get through all my classes in 1 week in that sort of schedule where you only have one class once a week, I'll just do all the clay straight through Monday to Friday and leave the tables set up. So it really depends on your schedule. Sometimes we don't have schedules where you can do that. But so the messy mats make it easy to just take the messy mats off, and I just stack them up, put them in a drawer, and then, the next class might be painting or something like that. My hands and wrists do get sore after rolling a lot of clay all at once and after a week of teaching clay, so be gentle with yourself. Your hands might also be dry. It's a good idea to use some coconut oil or olive oil at the end of the day on your skin to help rehydrate it. I also prefer short nails because I don't like the sensation of clay under my nails, so you might want to think about, before you start, how you want your nails to be. I also tell the same things to my students. You can send a note home to parents letting them know you're going to do a clay day, that short nails can be good for children with sensory issues, pulling their hair back, bringing an extra t-shirt if they don't want clay all over their clothes for the whole rest of the day. When I first started rolling out clay, it felt like it took forever, and it's really about enjoying your experience. And when I involve families, parents to help me roll the clay, it did definitely go by. It was many hands make light work, more enjoyable experience, because we don't want to resent or feel upset we're doing it by ourselves and wasting our time. So however you can make it more fun is definitely better. And that is 22 pieces of clay. Now we have our Ziploc bags that I already written out before. As kindergarten, I need 11 and 11 in the 2 bags. I'm going to open up the bags. Spray some water. Push out all the air. If you're not going to use these right away, you have to keep checking them depending on where you live in the world and your climate. You're going to have to keep adding spritzes of water sometimes. So just monitor your clay. I try to use it within a week of rolling it out. And there you have it. I hope that was helpful. Have a great day.